Have you lost a pet ever? A cat, dog, could be a fish, spider. Have you lost a pet and then struggled to recover? The grief has been overwhelming and you don't know what to do. Or you've seen somebody struggle because they've lost a pet and you don't know what to do. How do we deal with this? How do we handle the loss of a pet? And is it really that big of a deal? Well, the short of it is, yeah, it's a big deal, okay? The grief you feel because you've lost a pet, something that was someone who was an important part of your life, is now gone. The grief is real. And today I'm going to talk a little bit about that and how we can deal with it. Before I start, I do want to introduce myself. My name is Penny. I am, I guess, the executive director of Mew Mew House, which is a retirement home and hospice for cats. I have special experience dealing with loss of animals because that's part of the business. I take in senior, special needs, and hospice cats, and they cross the Rainbow Bridge frequently. It's hard. And it's not easier for me just because I'm used to it, okay? It's legit. So I'm going to talk to you about that today, but I do want to make clear at the beginning, I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist or any of those psych types. All right? I'm a geologist and I have cats. So what I'm talking to you about comes from my personal experience, not from some textbook or something. All right? But I'm hopeful that my experiences will be helpful to you. Before I dive into that, I do always like to check in. If you're watching this live right now, please go ahead and type hashtag live in the comments. If you're watching this later in the day, you can type hashtag replay. I'd be interested to know where you're watching from, just because I like to know where I'm reaching. And I do hope this is helpful to all of you. And here's the thing, fundamentally, the grief we feel when we lose a pet is real. I ugly cry. I will admit freely, I ugly cry every time I lose another cat. And it happens a lot, and you would think that maybe I'd be numb to it, and I'm not. I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing if I didn't feel the compassion and the empathy for the animals that are in the house. And it hurts me when they go, when I lose them. The pain you're feeling is also very real. So what can we do about it? Well, first of all, I think what's important is that you need to not beat yourself up. Do not, in any case, say to yourself, oh, it's not a human, it's a pet. Why am I so broken up about this? Why am I having a hard time going to work? Why am I having a hard time, talking on the phone? Why am I having such a hard time? It's just a pet. No, for some of us, like me, our pets are our family. I mean, yes, I have a human child and I have other friends, and I'd be just as broken up and devastated if something horrible happened to them. But we have a lot of energy and emotion wrapped up in our pets. For some of us, our pets are our connection with life. I mean, I'm a person who deals with depression, and there are days the only reason why I is because the cat's me. And of course, then when I lose them, it hits hard. The only good thing, I guess, for me having so many cats is that it means that forces me to keep going. Not all of us have as many cats or pets as I do, so losing one leaves your house empty, And that's a shock, okay? It's awful. So your grief is legitimate. If other people are looking at you saying, I don't know why you're so upset and you just need to go to work and just shake it off, well, that's their problem, okay? It's not about you, it's about them. If they can't deal with the fact that you have such an emotional investment in a pet, that that's on them, okay? If you're upset, you're upset. It is what it is. Don't let anybody tell you that there's something wrong with you or that your feelings are too extreme because that's not cool. Because it's real. And I think that's the most useful thing that I can share with people is this notion that even though it's not human, it still is an emotional investment, something with which you've lost. Okay. I mean, if your house burns down and you just lose all of your possessions, it's expected that you'll be upset for a while. Why the heck can't you be upset if your dog passes, right? It's ridiculous. So, if you've lost a pet and you're broken up by it, by all means, grieve. It's legit. And grieve in whatever way you need to. For some people, they just shake it off. They can just shake it off and they deal with it very privately and it's okay. Other people, they need to be surrounded by friends and they need support. That's fine too. Whatever you need to do. Because it's real, it's legit, it's a thing. The other thing here is that I mean there's some things that are important here, especially if you are um well, there's two things here. First of all, the grieving is legit, but if you find yourself incapacitated, like completely incapacitated by it for more than, say, a few days, then you probably do need to get professional help. I am not that person. I mean, I will talk to you and I'll support you and I will go to your house, if you're local and be there for you while you deal with all of this that's happening. But I don't have the qualifications for that. You might need professional help. If it's been a week and you haven't been able to get out of bed, you probably need to find help. The other part of this, and I kind of want to stress this, if you're a friend watching a friend struggle with the loss, you don't get to tell them how they feel. Their feelings are theirs. Be supportive, be there for them if they need you. Don't negate their feelings. And encourage them to get up and continue to function, but you can't make them change how they feel. You can encourage them and ask them to move around and do things, but you can't tell them how they feel. If you're an employer, you also benefit from allowing people to take the time they need to grieve for a lost pet as well. I've seen it go both ways where employers like, it's just a cat, you have to come to work. And I've also seen employers that are like, I get it, take the time you need. I mean, there are reasons if somebody's working for you, you need them to be in the office. So, be tactful about it, but do not tell your employees they can feel either. It's not okay. It's not okay. And if you can be flexible with an employee who is grieving, they're likely to come back and actually be ready to work rather than an employee that was forced to deal with something, while trying to work, it's going to end poorly. So give yourself grace if you're struggling with the loss of a pet. It's okay to ugly cry. Maybe you don't want to ugly cry in front of other people, but it's okay to ugly cry. And when I say ugly cry, people don't always know what I mean by that, but I'm talking about the kind of, you got snot running down out of your nose and your face is all wet and your hair is all screwed up and you kind of twisted into this weird expression. I feel badly for my vet because every time I have to bring in a cat at the end of their life, I ugly cry. They bring in the box of tissues and and then it's okay. Then I like shake it off and, get on with it because I have to and because I can. But, you know, give yourselves the grace to mourn. And for people observing this, friends of people who are grieving, give them the grace to mourn. And, if it offers any comfort, I do tell myself often that no matter what happens, whatever has happened when I've lost a pet, I did the best I could. If you were mourning for the loss of a pet, that means you were there for them and they were there for you. So you had that bond, which means you were doing everything correctly. Even if it was imperfect, it was correct. And it's okay. It's okay to be upset. So give yourself grace. And that's the best I can ever offer, just to tell people that it's all right to be a blubbering gelatinous mass of tears for a while. Give yourself time and then get back up and keep moving forward, not because you're done grieving, but because life goes on and you have to do that. And if your friend, again, a friend of a person who's struggling, remember you can't change how they feel. You can just be there to help them walk again when when they're trying to come out the other side. So that's what I have for you today. I don't know if it's helpful. I hope it is. I think it's important to recognize that grieving for pets is real. And this isn't just cats and dogs. It could be a rabbit. It could be, a guinea pig. It could be, I have friends who have pet spiders, and they live a long time. Parrots, all of these things, when they pass, it's hard. And it's okay. It's legit. All right. Grieve. We live in a world that sometimes discounts people's emotions. We're supposed to be emotionless automatons, and we are not. If we have pets, they are part of our families, and it's difficult. So, unfortunately, we almost always outlive our pets, so we have to deal with this. And that's okay. You're doing exactly what you need to be doing. And on that perhaps somber note, I do hope that everybody takes a good deep breath, exhale. We're doing all right. It's Wednesday. Let's plow through the rest of the week and have a good weekend. And if you need anything, if I can support you, go to mewmewhouse.com or paleopix.com. And there are links to getting help, or you can message me here and I can help you, because that's what I do. And I hope you all have a lovely rest of your day, and I will see you next week.